Hi everyone, welcome to another week in review. It is Friday and it's time to just crack into these topics. I won't be that long. If you missed this live, you can catch it on the Instagram feed, or you can catch it on, or you can catch the video on YouTube, some clips on TikTok, some clips on Twitter. I don't say X, Twitter. Okay? So I'm going to start off with COVID first. And so, according to the World Health Organization, there were 16,023 new cases of COVID-19. But overall, we have 770,437,327 cases of COVID-19. And as of the death toll, we have 6,956,900. In terms of the U.S., we have not been reporting these cases because I'm going to get into the weeds of other cases in the state. But there were 0 new cases. But we still have the highest cases on the globe. Keep in mind, we're only 4.2% of the world's population. That's less than 5% of the population. There are 103,436,829 confirmed cases of COVID-19. As in terms of the fatalities, is over 1.1 million. The exact number is 1,127,152. So again, global confirmed cases. New cases within the last 7 days, 16,023. Cumulative cases are at 770,437,322. And the confirmed fatalities is 6,956,900. Now I'm going to get into the vaccinations. According to USA Facts, coronavirus checker, they have not been reporting the number of cases of people getting vaccinated, but there's 70% of people vaccinated and 81% of people that received their first dose. But overall, we're still at the 70% percentile of vaccinated people. I'm not surprised, because 30, maybe 20 something percent still not vaccinated. That's like over 1 million people. That's a lot of people. That's nuts. I mean, the vaccination is free. I don't understand why people don't get vaccinated. But in terms of new cases within this country, because COVID is now surging again, I kind of knew this was going to happen. We was not going to rid this thing completely, right? Completely. With COVID cases, according to ABC News, as COVID cases and hospitalizations rise across the United States, many Americans may be wondering how to keep themselves and their loved ones safe. In the years since the pandemic began, protocols and recommendations from the CDC and prevention have been updated, and new information and interventions have become available. ABC News spoke to a public health expert about what's the latest to know about the vaccine availability, when to test, and who should receive treatment. Some experts, this Dr. Graham Snyder, said COVID has never really left us. Told y'all. And they have been ups and downs throughout the pandemic. But with this uptick, we're seeing a steady trend pattern again. There's a mix of variants, and the variants are constantly changing and re-emerging. The Food and Drug Administration is soon expected to greenlight updated boosters targeting currently circulating COVID subvariants. Data on Moderna shows that new boosters offers additional protection. Those who took Moderna, you know who you are, which is current the 2 most prevalent variants against the newer variant called BA 2.86. And so when you should test, if people took COVID test, they are experiencing symptoms, expose someone to COVID. Those who are positive should wear a mask for 11 days when indoors and around others at home and public, and those exposed should do for 10 days. The CDC only recommends wearing a mask and high-quality mask or respirator if the COVID-19 hospital admission level were someone lives in category. So, I'll link this on one of my socials. Overall, almost 800 million people caught this virus worldwide. Almost 7 million people dead worldwide. Here at home in the United States, even though the CDC has not been reporting it, but there are rising cases in the South and even here up north. But we have over 103 million cases. Almost 1.2 million people deceased from the virus. And only 70% of this country is fully vaccinated when the vaccine is free. There's something wrong. I don't know what it is, but something is wrong. People are still reading misinformation about the vaccine. People are still reading misinformation about COVID. And there's some that's still spreading it. And those are the ones that's spreading it. They have left us because they succumbed to COVID. So I'm telling folks that no, this virus has not left. This virus is still here. It's not going anywhere. Even though there's more of a curve on it, it's still not going anywhere. So please, ladies, gentlemen, my non-binary folks, please take the vaccine and still wear your goddamn mask. There's epidemiologists out there telling y'all to do the shit. So please wear your mask. I feel like I gotta say the speech all the time. People are like, why you still talk about COVID? Because COVID's still here. I still wear my mask. So, on to other news. We have, this is funny. So, I saw breaking news while I was at work that Lindsey Olin Graham, Senator Lindsey Olin Graham, is being recommended by the special jury in Georgia, the special grand jury in Georgia, on to be charged with the stuff that he did in Georgia, because he was on the phone call with the Secretary of State in Georgia and Donald Trump. And he even endorsed Donald Trump for 2024. Yep, the news is there. It's a big news alert. It was big news. So I just want to play the clip. What Lindsey Olin Graham have said, because I found it funny. Here it goes.
Happened. At the end of the day, nothing happened. What I did was consistent with my job as being a United States Senator, Chairman of the Judiciary Committee. But it was just not me. 3 United States Senators. We're opening up Pandora's box. I think the system in this country is getting off the rails, and we have to be careful not to use the legal system as a political tool.
Dude, there was like so many receipts that you were heavily involved. Like, your ass was involved. See, this is what I have issues with the Republicans. This is what I have issues. They want to come after Democrats saying like they always, being caught in scandal. But once you have a Republican that's caught in scandal and Republicans going down for the scandal, not just one, but multiple, they want to accuse, the law being weaponized against them. Aren't you supposed to be the party of law and order? Last time I checked. But obviously, Trump changed the game for y'all when y'all stopped being the party of law and order. He literally have the Republican Party on a chokehold. The Republican Party is not Reagan's party no more, even though it wasn't good as Reagan's party either. It's now Donald Trump's party. And even if he doesn't run for office, you still got that fringe side of Donald Trump's cult that will always be there. And there are people still in that party is just as bad as Trump, but they just know how to dress their words up a lot better. That's all I'm saying. So Lindsey Olin Graham, if you do get charged, don't cry. Don't cry. You're going to be fine, sir. You're going to be fine. You are. And speaking of more Republicans, I don't know what's up with Republicans, or even worse, what's up with my fellow Democrats, right? So according to a CNN poll, which they have turned hard right, President Joe Biden faces continued headwinds from broadly negative job ratings, widespread across about his age, and decreased confidence amongst Democrat-aligned voters. Democrat-aligned voters. That's independent voters, mostly. According to a new CNN poll conducted by SSRS. There is no clear leader in a potential rematch between Biden and former dude Donald Trump, who was wildly ahead in the GOP primary. A nearly half registered voters, 46%, say that any Republican nominee would be a better choice than Biden 2024. Meanwhile, hypothetical matchups also suggest that there will be no clear leader should Biden face one of the major contenders on the GOP side. Who runs behind Biden is Namrata Haley. And since Biden announced his re-election bid earlier, where he's framed to be the 2024 contest fight against a Republican extremism, his approval ratings have remained mere below the mid-40s, similar to Trump standing in 2019 and several points below Reagan, Barack Obama, and Bill Clinton as ahead of their re-election campaigns. 44% of voters feel any Democrat candidate will be better choice than Donald Trump. So, I have my qualms with some of my fellow Democrats. Some of y'all know who y'all are, and you know what you look like. Yes, President Biden is 80 years old. He'll be 82 if he is reelected, or maybe 81 and a half before he's 82, because his birthday's in November, late November. Anyhow, how can I word this? If it wasn't for President Biden and Vice President Harris, you would not have accessibility to get your COVID-19 vaccine and booster. Or even better, you wouldn't got a test right away, right? If it wasn't for the Biden and Harris administration, you would not be able to receive your stimulus checks in 2021, nor extra $300 for unemployment if you were unemployed, nor extra $500 if you were a single parent or have a household full of children. You wouldn't receive some student loan forgiveness because some loans were forgiven by this administration. You wouldn't be able to find baby formula shortages. Or if you attended HBCU or you were HBCU president, you would not see the large amount of funding that the president offered or gave to these institutions. Can I carry on? The infrastructure bill and the internet. You wouldn't have broad access to the internet because there were some rural counties that were run by Republicans and that Republicans represent. Some of them didn't vote for that. But y'all saying any Democrat is better than President Biden? These Democrats that y'all putting up, and it's no disrespect to some of these Democrats that people like, even though some of them, I would not like them for my president, but that's my choice. Would not know how to meet the moment when it comes to addressing issues that Americans care about. And no, I'm not just only talking about abortion. Racial tensions is fucking high. Racial tensions are at an all-time high in this country. And the only person I see that can address this and that will know how to deal with this and can get the country united is President Biden, along with Vice President Harris. And no, ladies and gentlemen, Vice President Harris is not coming off the ticket. So y'all can go and sail off somewhere and stop wishing and hoping that she gets dropped off the ticket, because that ain't happening. Okay? But I'm going to say this overall. To my fellow Democrats, that some that look like me, but most that don't look like me, and you know who you are. If it wasn't for President Biden, you wouldn't have your first round of vaccinations, wouldn't even got easy access, wouldn't receive your stimulus checks for $1,400, an additional $300 of unemployment. You wouldn't also receive, the extra $500 for your children to eat, extra food stamps, amount in food stamps. You would not receive broad internet, jobs created in terms of for the Infrastructure and Jobs Act. There's a whole litany of things. Oh, yeah, student loan forgiveness if you work for an institution and if you got it forgiven, because there are folks that got it forgiven. You wouldn't have that if it wasn't for President Biden and Vice President Harris. So all you so-called, I'm calling out so-called Democrats, or some that are, registered Democrats, like I said, that mostly don't look like me, you may want to rethink that over again, because your faves ain't going to meet the moment when it comes to addressing racial issues. Like I said, it's at an all-time high, and they will not have no idea how to address racial issues, because it's not just only a large amount of white people that's in this party. You got black women who are the highest turnout for Democratic voters behind black men. Then black men is behind black women. And then is Latina women. And then. White people are at the bottom of the list. So I'm going to need for my fellow white Democrats, because I'm speaking to y'all, y'all need to shut up. Like it or lump it, President Biden is going to be your nominee, and Vice President Harris is going to be on that ticket with them. Point blank, period. And speaking more to my fellow white Democrats and some black Democrats out there, for those who don't want President Biden on a ticket, the GOP is extreme. I don't care how they dress their words up. They are extreme. They embrace Trumpism and they embrace his policies. They may not like him, but they like the goddamn policies. You got Narada, Nikki Haley, who is like chummy with Moms for Liberty, along with Michael Richard Pence, along with Timothy Eugene Scott. Okay? You have Christopher James Christie, who wants to put on this tough guy act when he's really a punk at heart, embrace Donald Trump. You got all these people ready to like strip our shit away. Strip our stuff away. But y'all willing to say any of those is better than President Biden? Y'all not real Democrats out there if y'all saying that. And Gavin Newsom and Gretchen Whitmer, this is no disrespect to them, they will not meet the moment when it comes to addressing racial issues and trying to unite this country. Because I don't see them as uniting the country. Because that's a job. Okay? You got to be quick on your toes to address racial tensions. Because it's at an all-time high. They already want to revise Black history. They don't even want to even teach it in the damn school. Okay? These folks are anti-LGBTQ plus and don't like marriage equality and don't like interracial marriage. How would Gavin and Gretchen address that? It's just something that you need to consider. And the only person I can see that's well equipped and that understands is President Biden and Vice President Harris. So folks, they're going to be your nominee. Whether you like it or not, they're going to be your nominee. Is it going to be a easy fight? No, it's not. It's going to be tough. But guess what? We will do it. And if my white counterparts don't show up in large numbers, we know who's going to show up. Black women, black men, Latino women. And my indigenous brothers and sisters. And even my Asian brothers and sisters. Point blank, period. I didn't see Gavin Newsom's interview. I probably will see it. But even he probably don't even want it neither. And that's another thing. Who's to say he wanted and who's to say Gretchen wanted? I'm pretty sure they don't. And just more stupidness. How many times Nimrata is going to tweet about a vote for Joe Biden is a vote for Kamala Harris? Like, how many times you going to say that? You sound like a goddamn broken record, okay? You need, like I said, to stop being obsessed with Vice President Kamala Harris because she's literally ignoring you. Like, she's sitting down, eating her food, and worrying about how to promote the administration's efforts to finish the job. Nobody has time for you, Nimrata. Nobody has freaking time for you. Okay? So you need to focus on your plans for this country. Like I said, your plans for this country will set us back 50 years. And it's so sad because you're not even a white woman and you want to set us back 50 years. And if you're trying to be the vice president to any of these Republican candidates, I don't know if they're going to choose you. Because I heard the MAGA folks don't even like you. They don't like you. Oh, Jesus Christ. And for Alyssa, this, like I said this time and time again. I don't hate Alyssa. Hate is a very strong word. I don't hate Alyssa Farrah Griffin. What I despise is her shitty ass views, her constant attacks on the president's age, and the vice president's qualifications. She has no room to talk when she worked for an unqualified, unprepared, fascist, bigoted, racist administration to ever grace the people's house. She worked for a openly racist, fascist man and praised the work of a bigoted, closeted man. So I want Alyssa Farrah Griffin to keep the vice president's name out her mouth and even the president's name out of her mouth if she has no substantial facts and nothing kind and nothing reasonable to say. And keep Democrats out her mouth too. Like I said, I'm sick of everyone. Okay? I am sick of people's shit. I am sick of people lying. I am sick of people trying to bash this administration. The Biden and Harris administration has saved us from a lot of shit that could have been worse. COVID was at an all-time terrible high in 2020. All of us could not even see our family. It took us months to see our family. If it wasn't for this administration, we would not be able to rejoice with our family. Like, get those shots for free. The shots are still free. We would not have been able to feed our families, being lifted out of poverty. Or even better, not getting baby formula, marrying who we want to marry, addressing racial equity, incorporating racial inclusion, if it wasn't for this administration. So those 40-something%, those 58%, whatever that number is, which I know y'all going after moderate leaning Democratic voters who I don't really trust, but unfortunately we need them to peel off so they don't go the Republican way. They need to think about that. And if you care about unity and racial justice for your black brothers and sisters, you will not be voting for knuckleheads like Nimrata, Michael, Timothy, Christopher, and so. That's all I'm saying. So until then, have a good night.